I want to speak fluently. I want to communicate with my friends in English. I want to impress my teacher by talking effectively in English. But I fail when I start talking. I fumble. I become blind. Words don't come. I don't feel confident. I fail to communicate. These are the common expressions of almost everyone who is trying to learn a language. For example, English. I also have faced such problems because I have studied Kannada medium till my bachelor's. Today, I'm going to share some tips to overcome these problems. When I was learning English, one of my friends used to tell me that grammar is the essential and basic part of language learning. But I don't agree with this idea. English grammar is not necessary for speaking fluently. You need to focus on idioms, phrases, and slangs in order to communicate like a native speaker. It is for this reason that even after years of learning English grammar at school, most of us can't speak fluently. Of course, I'm not saying that grammar can be avoided while speaking, but look at a child how it learns a language. Children acquire language quickly, easily, and without effort or a formal teaching. It happens automatically, whether the parents teach or not. Children acquire language through interaction not only with their parents and other adults, but also with other children. Even normal children who grow up in a normal household surrounded by conversation will acquire the language that is being spoken over there. The special way in which many adults speak to small children also helps them to acquire language. For example, baby talk. Studies show that the baby talk that adults naturally use with infants and toddlers tend to make them speak faster than the normal language learning. The baby talk has simpler vocabulary and sentence structure than adult language, exaggerated intonation and sounds, and lots of repetition and questions. All of these features help the child to sort out the meaning, sounds, and sentence patterns of his or her language. This is how a child learns a language. The natural learning of any language is done in such environment. Undoubtedly, the ideal environment to learn a language is a country where it is spoken. When we were children, we didn't put any special effort into learning our mother tongue. We immersed naturally. Just like a child, having the opportunity to immerse yourself completely in a language forces you to read, listen, speak to everyone around you. Unfortunately, not every English learner has the opportunity to go to an English-speaking country to improve their English. However, there are other ways to surround yourself with the language you want to learn. The first way is, how many times do you look at your phone every day? That number will be the amount of times you have contact with English once you change the language setting. Of course, this might be a little inconvenient at first, but will help you to create your English environment. Next time you log on to Facebook, change the language. Do the same for Instagram, your email, and any apps you use. What do you do when you're waiting for a bus? If your answer is watching that silly cat videos, then maybe it's time to try something different. Take few minutes to read the headlines in English. The Hindu, the Indian Express, and Al Jazeera English will keep you up to date with world affairs and your English also. Listening. If you're going for a run or jogging, try to listen to radio. It may be BBC or any podcast that is in English. Don't worry if you don't understand a lot of words. The more you listen, the more you will understand. So listening can be another way of surrounding yourself with English. Lastly, creating your own English environment within your head. Translate the word. As you walk down the street, describe what you can see, what you can hear, what you can smell. Keep a little notebook in your pocket and write down any words you don't know to look up later. I used to do it a lot of times. I used to imagine myself responding to a particular question, situation, or incident. This can be a great way of surrounding yourself with English. And don't forget to watch movies, web series in English. This is how you can surround yourself with English and can see daily improvements. Learning vocabulary is essential for fluent English. Learning vocabulary is a big part of language learning. The more English words you learn, the better you can communicate your needs, ideas, thoughts, and feelings to other people in a better way. Vocabulary is essential for understanding too. In fact, learning new words is one of the biggest things you can do to improve your reading and listening. So, what can be done? First thing, write down the words you don't understand and find the meaning in dictionary. Fortunately, we are having online dictionaries through which we could find the meaning of a word easily. So just do it. Second, revise vocabulary regularly. Did you know that if you don't look, did you know that if you don't look again at the new words and phrases you have studied, you only remember on an average 20 to 25% of it. That's a shocking waste of time and effort. So you go through the words again and again. You will definitely remember it. And third, use it or lose it. This is a great thing to do. Try to use new words in your sentences, the words you learn newly in daily life. I suppose this can work for everyone. Try to use the words you have learned recently. So otherwise, you're going to forget the words you have learned. The next way to overcome fear of English is practice speaking daily. There are many ways. To which you can practice English daily. One such way is to talk to yourself. You don't need an audience to practice speaking English. You can talk to yourself at any time. The big advantage of talking to yourself is that you can choose whatever topic or theme you like. For example, one day you could decide to speak using the present tense. The next day you could switch to the future or past tense, and so on. Talking to yourself makes you confident because you will be knowing where you stand in speaking. Another way to become fluent in English, which I found interesting, is narrating your everyday life. I used to do it a lot of times. As you walk to the shops, take the bus or train, go for a run, do any other activity, try to describe what you see around you in English. How many people are walking ahead of you? What different products are on sale in the shops? By looking at them, you can start describing it. This is also a great way of learning a language. Next one is joining English classes or courses will be the best way of making your learning more structured and defined. Because we have a lot of options available on YouTube, Facebook, or Instagram. If you start scrolling them, you will be lost in the wild. They are very time consuming. टाइम चला जाएगा and जो सीखना चाहते थे वो नहीं सीखेंगे. So joining a class or a spoken English class or a grammar class will be the better option. Next one, making mistakes. Making mistakes is a natural part of learning any language, especially English. For English students, the fear of making mistakes can often be a barrier to progress and growth. However, it's important to remember that mistakes are an integral part of the language learning process. Embracing them can have many positive benefits. Firstly, making mistakes is a clear indicator that we are actively engaging with the language and pushing ourselves outside of our comfort zones. When we make mistakes, it means that we are trying, experimenting, and taking risks in our learning journey. This active participation is crucial for growth and progress. Making mistakes shows that we are actively using the language, and this practice is vital for improving our fluency and communication skills. Secondly, mistakes provide valuable learning opportunities. When we make a mistake, it often encourages us to seek feedback and correct our errors. This process of reflection and self-correction allows us to deepen our understanding of the language and learn from our mistakes. So don't hesitate to make mistakes. It's part of a natural process of learning any language. And why to get offended by mistakes because English is not our mother tongue? Becoming fluent in English is a rewarding journey that takes time and dedication. Remember to stay consistent, practice regularly, and embrace the process. If you found this video helpful, don't forget to hit that like button, subscribe for more language learning tips, and share this video with your friends. And thank you for joining us today, and we'll see you in the next video. Happy learning.